Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you watching from. Is by invitation only. Once again, invited a couple of our standards.
Appreciate you, man.
They're staples on the show now. I got my man D. I got my man Adam on the
We're
show.
stuck in the wall.
Look, standard but not basic. You know what I mean? Standard but not basic.
Facts.
Yeah,
What's the
accepted
business,
the
folks?
invitation once again.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
to be
Here
here,
we
man.
go. So this one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk about a movie review and just some things that's going on in music and entertainment news. Let's get right to it. Where
Yes,
y'all want to
sir.
start at?
It's up to you. What you want to do?
Let's
Set
go
the
with the
mood.
bad first,
The
and
bad.
then we'll go
Okay.
with
Who's
the
bad?
goodness. Well, yeah, we'll go with who's bad.
What we talking
We're
about?
play
gonna
on
end it with
words.
the king.
Yeah, all right.
But so local news, LA news. I don't even know how to really, walk into this one.
Yeah.
They have finally arrested David
Yeah.
for the murder of the 14-year-old Celeste
Celeste.
Hernandez.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, sweetie.
Took a while, but he is in custody. They say they have 4 terabytes worth of evidence collected just from his cell phone, and he is in custody and has asked for a speedy trial to start within 10 days. He's ready to go and fight the case. Gentlemen, chime on in.
Man.
Have you followed the case at all?
I did not until you mentioned it.
Okay.
And then I did a whole deep dive. Like I went down the rabbit hole. And man, it's tough. I mean, you guys, you have a daughter.
Yes.
You have a daughter?
I do. I have 3 daughters.
Man, it was triggering, right?
Mhm.
And as a dad, it's one of those stories that it hits you. It resonates. It's like,
100%.
man, like your baby girl goes missing. That already is like a lot. And then all of a sudden they say we found her body. You know, you're dealing with devastation on top of devastation.
And the way it was in the trunk of a car,
Man,
dismembered.
like
That's a lot.
so, first and foremost, like, my condolences to her family, her friends.
100%.
Like that's a
Absolutely.
tough loss.
Yeah.
And man, I
Heartbreaking.
just felt a ton of different emotions.
Mhm.
Anger, empathy, and then I had a ton of questions.
Yes.
That's the part where it kind of threw. I was like, okay, why? What was happening with her family where this little girl felt
Yeah.
like she needed to run away
Yes.
from home,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Why is a grown man like targeting this minor?
Mhm.
Why did she fall for it? How come she didn't feel like while she was gone she could maybe reach back out to her family?
Mhm.
Like the one thing as a dad, the titles I take seriously is protector, provider.
Facts.
Mhm.
So it's like I don't ever want my baby girl to feel like even if she made a decision that I 100% disagree with, like if you're in trouble, reach out and call me.
Yes.
Like, how come that didn't happen?
Mhm.
It was weird though. I had sent you guys a video because I saw that little
Yeah, I watched
documentary
that.
on YouTube
Yeah.
of him.
Mhm.
And then out of nowhere, I started to feel a little bit of empathy for his parents only because
Mhm.
it seemed like he came from a pretty stable environment. Like they presented normal and
Yeah, he was-
healthy. He had siblings, a younger brother, little sister. And it's like, what was going on in his house where his family didn't know he was battling these demons or these thoughts?
Yeah.
Like, but social media, raising kids in the social media era
Mhm.
is a challenge in and of itself. It's hard. How do you keep tabs of everything that your kid is being exposed to, what they're tapping into?
Mhm.
So I just felt leaving after I did the whole deep dive. Like I just
Mhm.
felt like leaving, like I still had a ton of questions left.
So
Yeah.
disclaimer, because we're gonna go out there and we will say that everybody will have their day in court.
Yeah.
You are innocent until proven guilty. This is just our opinion and my thoughts, Dion's thoughts, Adam's thoughts.
Glad you said that. Yeah.
But I will say this. Wherever this trial goes, one thing that we know is, and I don't know exactly how old he is,
21.
21 and 14 don't go together.
Exactly.
That's
And-
the start of
Well,
where
and,
he
and
went wrong.
she was missing at 14. Was he
Missing
19?
at 13.
Yeah, because she ran
Yeah.
away a couple times.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry to cut you. Go ahead.
No.
So,
I just wanted to throw that out there
Yeah.
that no matter what, and we're all men here. We were all at that age at some point, and I knew people who got in trouble for some statutory shit.
Yeah.
There was just certain shit you didn't do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're talking people I knew was 19, 20 with a 17-year-old. At no point did you think a 14,
No.
15, 13
13, just
was
yeah.
okay and your ass is a grown-ass man.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
like problem number one.
Yeah,
that
that
I see with
alone
this. Yeah.
is enough, right?
Like, right there,
Yeah,
he needs to go away
exactly.
for some time.
So go ahead.
Second part,
Yeah.
you do some dumb shit, and your answer to it is to kill somebody
Yeah.
and
Like
dismember
it's
them.
TV and
Like,
it's video game.
like
He's a demon. I mean, he's a real demon.
I'm surprised, and I don't want to. My daughter come up missing, and I believe it's you, and they've connected you to her. Nigga, you ain't got to worry about the police.
Yeah.
Like, you lucky you was able to walk around for that year for them to go arrest your ass, and nobody went and snatched you the fuck up and said, "I'm gonna deal with this on my own."
Yeah.
So talk. I don't know. Are you?
No, yeah.
So talking about that, I'm gonna do like the only way I can is to keep it real. So I mentioned I got 3 daughters. So one of them at 15 years old decided to run away with a little boy, right?
Oh man.
Put the little doo-wop on her mama and was gone, right? And so I know it's a matter of time. Yeah, of course, police were, notified, but who got out there on the grind and they're way out in the IE, similar place,
Mhm.
Lake Elsinore, I believe that's where Celeste is
Yeah.
from, right?
Mhm.
They lived out there. And through technology, because my other daughters, like, they share this, they share the same password so they can find her location. So I find a general location. And I rode from LA to San Bernardino
Mhm.
As a father
asking
should.
questions like,
Yeah.
I didn't even wait for the police.
Yeah.
Then I contacted extended family. They have people that are sheriff. Like, we were on it.
Yeah.
Next day I get up, I get my mama. We
Mhm.
go get flyers. We go to the area. We're asking questions, talking to people, knocking on doors. We're doing police work because I know it's a matter of time. I don't know, what could possibly happen to
Yeah.
my daughter or what the whole situation
Mhm.
was. I didn't just leave it in the hands of law enforcement. I
Yeah.
took it upon myself to be that law enforcement.
Mhm.
And people are like, oh, this area is not safe or whatever the case. Because I ended up in San Bernardino, then I'm up at Arrowhead. I
Mhm.
found a couple people that was just strung out. That's like, no, this is where people run away and do drugs and this and that.
Wow.
Right. So I'm just for a few days, I'm just pure adrenaline, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we go to grocery stores up, Big Bear and things, right? And they're like, "Oh, I just seen that little girl here yesterday." Blah blah blah. Right?
Oh wow.
We're piecing it together. I'm not even playing, right? And so once we found out she was safe, took my ass back home, mom's and
Mhm.
her mama went to go because they took her to almost like a not like a police, but like a kind of like a shelter or something, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh, she cool. All right, cool." Because I knew I was so upset that anxiety and that adrenaline would turn straight to anger.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
I just left it alone. Okay, my baby's safe.
Mhm.
Boop, boop, boop. I don't know whatever happened to the dude. He was a little bit older. She was 15, like I mentioned. I think he was maybe 18 or 19, something like
Mhm.
that, right? And
Let's start. We're
it
gonna
was
pause
tough,
right
bro.
there
It was tough.
I'm glad you
to the
got her back.
younger women
Yeah.
Yeah.
or girls out there at that age that think that because we all lived it. We all remember being in high school, 9th, 10th, 11th grade, fly girl from the school getting picked up by some 20-year-old dude that already got his drug money and doing his thing, and people just overlooked it.
Yeah.
That is not cool. That is called a predator.
For sure.
Like
In hindsight,
there's a reason why
yeah.
a grown man needs to reach down to a teenage girl, and the women his age don't want to fuck with him. So think about it that way. Like,
Yeah.
you not special. This nigga's a predator.
Yeah.
Like,
It
and
takes
that
the
should not
community.
happen.
It takes the community to piece in.
Exactly.
I
And we
mean,
used to be that type of community when
we
we would
gotta
see
go
shit
back
that
to
was
it, though. Take care
questionable.
of
We'd
these
be like,
babies.
hey, yo, nah. So
I have a follow-up question for you since you shared, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, no, you
What
sure.
was the conversation with your daughter when you finally got a chance to talk to her about what happened?
You know what? To be real, we haven't even had that conversation. We just kept going.
Really?
I
Mhm.
personally haven't because I still have flyers
Yeah.
and I've been waiting to just
Mm.
pop, right? But she's had a different perception. If I'm not mistaken, she apologized, but I just didn't go into depth because my mama, her mama, everybody was just on her older sister.
Oh,
Just
yeah, she was
right.
getting it
And I
from
was just now
everybody.
I'm adding
You
to
didn't
it.
want to pile on.
Correct. Yeah, because my whole thing was just that she was safe, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And but I'm telling you, I don't even know why I'm holding on. I think probably to just rub it in her face one day.
Like, you
Do
know,
you
you
remember?
owe me.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
I took a whole week off of work because
Yeah.
even after the first 3 days, work was like, I know you're not right in the right headspace.
Mm-hmm.
Just take off the time. But it's just that fear of, and you're running things in your head from all these TV shows, these 48 hours.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'm like, what? So what they gonna do? They had stole her mama's car. Like it was just a whole thing,
Yeah.
right? And I'm just like, she was acting like she was moving out. She took the PlayStation. She took a bunch. I was like, damn, she ain't coming back, right?
Yeah.
Because this guy spoke a little game. So when you mention and have questions, I'm like, what was the family doing to get this little girl back?
Yeah.
Right? You know, why was it a year?
Yeah, why was
I
she
mean-
gone for so long? How did you not know
Mhm.
anything about her whereabouts?
Did you just leave it in the police
Especially with
hands?
somebody who's a celebrity or quote unquote.
I never knew
somebody
about him
that's
until this
in the-
situation.
well, somebody that's in the public eye.
Correct.
He ain't that hard to find.
No.
Like,
So then
nigga,
what-
you performing somewhere. I'm pulling the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like you about to, we gonna have this
Oh,
conversation.
I'm at his house.
Like-
I'm not gonna be no victim. My people not gonna be no victim.
No,
We
yeah. I
on.
remember
Yeah.
my
It's 'cause-
daughter's like last year in high school, and me
Yeah.
and her mom, salt and vinegar. We do not get along at all. Always had issues, but you know, anytime my daughter would have some issues, first call. So she called me. There was a relationship that my daughter was done with that the young man couldn't let go of.
Gotcha.
So she calls me. I'm like, I'm off at this time. Have them at the house.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Right.
I remember parking, walking up the stairs, and I guess she didn't tell her I was coming.
Oh, okay.
So she just gets up, open up the door, and I remember seeing my daughter's face as I walked through the door. She's like, hey, one, my dad's never been here.
Yeah.
Besides just picking me up and whatever. He's
Right.
walking through the door. This is a
Thumbs up.
problem.
Yeah.
And had to have a conversation with the little guy. And I'm like, yo, I'm just going, he was trying to explain his case. And at a point, I was just like, listen, dude, I'm going to be real with you. Nobody's going to miss your little ass. Like, this is the last
Yeah,
time
this is it.
that I'm going to see you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
o-
not
it's
going to
over.
go back and forth like
Yeah.
her mama, blah, blah, blah. That is my baby girl.
Yeah. Move on.
And, nigga, they not going to spend too much time figuring out what happened to your
What was
little
that
punk
movie with
ass.
Samuel, A Time to Kill?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in my
I
head.
was just
Yeah, I'm
watching
coming-
something the other
I'm coming
day,
off the top rope.
and they was talking about like street code and being young. And the person said the first thing I was taught when I got into the streets is if you gonna kill a nigga, make sure it's nobody gonna check for. Meaning, young black men. Let's be honest with the shit. Like it's
Man.
just another one missing. So, and not to say that it's right or wrong, but I was like, dude, we not about to go back and forth. You're a kid. This is my daughter. We not playing games. If I get a call again, you just
Yeah,
gonna
you just
disappear
gotta
off this earth, nigga. And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, how can I just can't fathom gone for a year and you didn't do nothing. Now, I'm not putting anything on the parents. I'm not trying to say we don't know. There could have been something.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm just saying how it looks.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
So what did you guys' approach now with like the whole parenting and the social media era? Because it's a weird dynamic now. We grew up in an era where like we saw celebrities and we saw them from afar. But now it's like these girls,
You can follow, message.
a celebrity could slide in a
DM.
girl's DM and start to get in her
100%.
head. So I'm thinking like with her, like obviously like she had a bunch of admiration for this dude, maybe a crush,
Mhm.
and then he started getting on her. So like, do we check phones as parents now? And how
Teaching
much
them right
privacy?
from
How much
wrong is
privacy
just-
do you give a kid? Like,
Not much. You
Not
gotta
much?
like just teach them right from
He
wrong
said
from the
not
start,
much.
and because the problem with this generation, and I'm sure we had it too, is they believe that they know everything because of technology. They think that it gives them a pass. One
Yeah.
thing that they don't know about, me and wifey was just talking about this. Their experiences all in home, in the classroom, on screen, but what they haven't experienced is real life out on the street, where it's a totally different dynamic.
that is
And
a
that's
fact.
where most of them struggle when they
Yeah,
have to
when they have to unplug
interaction
from the screen and
things
actually
like
get
that, they're
get out in real life.
"Uh-oh." And so you got to just prepare them, especially if you have daughters, young men too. to what you're going to face out there, that everybody does not have your best interests at heart. You can't believe everything that you say. What appears on social media, the face you're seeing might not be the person who you believe you're talking to. You don't even know who that person truly is.
Right.
You're just going off of some pictures. I could go take Dion's picture and make it my fucking profile. He'll never know.
Right.
And start messaging people. You don't know. So it's a scary world.
Scary
like we used to,
times.
in our generation, it was watch out for the white kidnapper van. And
Yeah.
you know, that was it.
Yeah.
You know, now
Well, you
these
never
people-
seen that van there before. It's been parked for a minute.
Hey,
Like,
what's up with
who
that?
is that? Yeah.
You know, and then even in certain things like that, we really never, growing up, when you would see kids and shit like that go missing from Inglewood, from Carson, that shit wasn't happening in our areas.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
if
nah,
you
to the
wasn't
good.
supposed to be there and park for too long, you was gonna have a different problem.
Yeah. Someone's gonna knock on the
So-
door, on that van door.
So I would say,
Yeah.
because I know your daughter's younger.
She's 11.
So it's just she knows who her dad is.
Right.
Right. So, and that's what was weird to me is that she shouldn't have been looking for, you know,
Ooh.
being comfortable, you know, in another young man with the drag, right? Because her sisters have told me, one of them in particular, it's like, why dude so weird, Dad? Like people are sliding my DM and I just block them.
Yeah.
Or at work, oh, you're cute. Oh, your eyes are light. Oh,
Mhm.
what are you? You know, and she's like, yeah, okay, moving on with life, right?
Right.
And it's comfortable enough to let me know these things and know that, you know, that no, I'm cool. I'm comfortable who I am.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you want me to show you my car? She was like, yeah, that's cute. Okay, anyway, so you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Moving on with life.
I think that's
So-
something like you touched on, the conversation of being able to talk, your children being comfortable enough to speak to you.
Yeah,
And that line
facts.
of communication always being open helps. And just, you know, we all hardworking men who, like you said, to start off, provider and protector.
Yeah.
The first person to spoil my daughter was me.
Yeah, for sure.
So she didn't go looking for it elsewhere. It
Yeah.
was whatever I need. Dad, need a sidekick. Dad, I want to blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We
Yeah.
started off. That, I think, is where it starts off a lot, is these people try to give them something that they're not getting from at home
And
where
that
they
entices
should.
them.
And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is the importance of having the dad in your life, the family, and etc. That type of thing.
To both of you guys' point too, I now that my daughter's so young, my focus has been making sure she knows that like this is a safe space for her.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
I'm a safe space for her. This is
Yeah.
this is a soft landing spot when you're having hard
Mhm.
times. Like, and I know there's gonna be things, and you guys probably experienced it, where like they might tell me some things I don't want to hear. I might find out some things I don't want to
Yeah.
hear.
Exactly.
I
When
gotta
you told
suck-
me your daughter's age, I went back to that. So
Yeah.
I truly, yeah.
You have to
man.
you have to suck it up, right? And be like,
Yeah.
okay, that's tough to hear, but like I still love you. You can
Yes.
still come to me for anything. I don't ever want you to feel like I'm not approachable, especially for your
Yeah.
daughter. I feel like
Yeah.
that's dangerous for her to not be able to approach her dad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like our
Like, there
presence
should
is so
be
important.
a level of fear, but a fear on if I mess up.
Right.
But if it's something else, if you have a fear for somebody outside in the world, first person you come to is me.
Yeah.
Like, I remember all of those stages. My daughter's now 29.
Yeah.
So I remember like yesterday when she was leaving for prom, and the
Yeah.
conversation I had with the prom date. I
Yeah.
remember the dude that was driving the car that they took to prom. Like, my daughter went to her mother, called her like, come take a picture. Old boy sitting in the car, I was like, let me rap to you.
Yeah,
real
for
quick.
sure. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna keep it short, Playboy. And he was like, what's up, Mr. Polk? I was like, whatever you do to her, I swear to God, I'll do to you.
Yeah.
Like, play if you want to. And I remember the dude was smoking a cigarette. He was like, Pops don't sound like he playing you, man.
Right.
He dead serious. And I remember, I think we left the party at like 7. By like 11, I got a text from her mom. She's home.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Like, it was an early night, like none of that
10:59.
bullshit. It was
Yeah.
like, and it wasn't I trusted her to do like, but I
Right.
was like, don't even. I think also having that, a lot of parents nowadays get caught up in this wanting to be their kid's friend
Yeah.
versus wanting to be a parent. I think that's the huge gap between our generation and this new one. Is I don't want to say anything to piss them off or for them to not like me. This ain't a popularity contest.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you to a certain level to be able to go out in this world and make it. So if I feel like it needs to be said, it probably needs to fucking be said.
Yeah.
So I just didn't. I knew me at prom, my boys at prom, and I was like, Playboy, I'm not that old.
Yeah.
Like, don't even play with me. Like, I'm
might
looking
pop out
at you.
there at the
I done
prom.
took pictures. I will find your punk ass. Like, hell no. So that, I think, like you said, the best thing is, you know, and this women, careful who you have children with. If they wasn't shit before they had the kid, they probably ain't gonna be shit once the kid get here. So it's about the relationship that you have with your children and just teaching them right from wrong and having that open, like you said, communication. Even if you fuck up, come to me, I can help you fix it.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't hide it, because it's just gonna spiral out of control and get into something bigger.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, man. Well,
but back to this little piece of shit.
Yeah, I hope justice is served.
It will.
Oh,
I like how you said it's like, you know, innocent until proven guilty. The thing we know he's guilty of is having an inappropriate relationship with a minor.
100%.
So that's the part too where, like, I feel because of where we grew up, like, you had consequences to your actions when we grew up. Remember how, like, some kid would be, like, messing around with a girl, maybe slipped up, called her a B by mistake, and it's like, I'm gonna go get my brothers. Like, we grew up with that. So the fact that, like, you mess with this mind, that alone, like, somebody's gonna pull up on you. Should have pulled up on you.
Oh, no, he in jail. You know he PC'd up.
You can't put him in gym pop,
just
right?
looking at him, I'm sure they waiting to get a hand on her. And she's Hispanic, nigga, you're done.
And the murder thing is,
done.
The murder thing is like, you don't want to put that rap on him, but I feel like it's a situation where, like, he knew something was up. Because the stuff that when I did the deep dive is like, I heard, okay, she was starting to threaten to expose him. And he had all this money on the table with this touring engagement that he had. He didn't want to mess that up. So then they're speculating that, well, maybe it wasn't him, but somebody in his team. Regardless, it's like, you knew something about it. Somebody should have pulled up on you.
They said that was found in her system.
Right.
The autopsy that just got released. You know, whoever, if it wasn't your hand that did it, but you had knowledge of it, all you motherfuckers need to go down. You killed a 14-year-old because of a dumbass decision that you made.
1000%.
I think in our, you know, we overlook that sometimes. Like, I don't understand people that spend their life trying to reach and achieve something and then get there and throw it away for some dumbass shit.
He's a demon, like I said.
There's nothing else that can be said about it. I hope they put your ass under the jail and you don't make it through the first year if you did that shit. And whoever on your team covered it up, helped, drove the car, moved the body, put her in the freezer, fuck you too.
Throw some of that too at the promoters and the people that kept booking this cat for shows or having them on for anything. That seems crazy to me too.
Yeah.
And just the fact, like, there's also like a level that these kids have of accountability. Like, there was a point when you did dumb shit, you had to just take that hit.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, a 14-year-old is dead, was dismembered and found in your trunk, and here you are saying, pleading not guilty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he's
Own
supposed
up
to
to
do,
your
but
shit. Not if you did that shit.
Yeah.
Well,
not if you did
there's
that
a lot
shit
of
and
people
got
that
caught.
did it that at some point got off, and
if you stole some shit, you took somebody's life because of a dumb decision you made. And your dumbass even made a song about killing somebody and dismembering them. Like, you ain't the sharpest tool in the shit.
Why do you think they waited so long?
Building the
to
case.
make sure the case.
You think that was
I
legit?
think little stupid.
Make sure the case was built.
Think about our generation, like you said beforehand. We didn't have social media.
Yeah.
There were certain rules of the street that you just knew. I remember getting on when cell phones were new, getting on the phone and mention certain. They'd be like, hey, yo, on the phone.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You were understood that there was certain shit you didn't do. This generation, I think that he thought, oh, found the body, got the car, I'm not in jail. They probably got hours of recordings and everything else of this idiot on the phone, texting, talking, blah, 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 because he thought he had got away with it.
And there's no place
So
we
they
could go
probably
right
just
now.
let him hang himself.
There's no place we could go right now where, like, we're not on camera.
Yeah.
There's street cams, there's all this stuff. I was just like, why is he sitting out here for so long?
Well, yeah, because they had to connect it too. Because you remember he was out of town when they found the car. The car's been parked there.
It was a rental. Then they found more shit in the rental, the freezer, and all of this other
so they
shit.
just had to make sure to run it. So
they like,
cases
we
is
got your
airtight.
ass. Yeah,
he's Dunsky. So.
You know, he got a little bit of money to fight the case. Probably think, oh, a technicality to get. No.
Yeah.
Even if your career for sure is done after this, and you're going to jail for statutory rape.
Yeah.
For sure.
They said they found some child pornography on his phone too. I
That
don't know if
dude,
it was
that's
her,
what
if
this is
it's
gonna
extras,
keep
but
on
Right.
going, like I'm
it's-
saying.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so you're
he's
just a
done.
sick fuck no matter which way we look at this.
Yeah,
shit.
for sure.
Yeah, fuck him. Shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Uh-huh.
Like, save the taxpayer some money. Fuck you.
Throw 'em in
Wherever
gym-
they
throw-
holding them,
Throw him in
take
gym,
care
throw
of
him
this
in,
nigga.
throw him in gym pop.
Yeah, just all you got to do one day.
Yeah.
Just let him. Everybody's heard it. Just let him out.
Yeah.
He won't last long.
No, he's done.
So-
sis.
We're gonna move on to a more well, I don't know, depending on which side of the line you stand on this. We are coming off of day 2 of the Michael release.
Yeah.
Just released yesterday.
Don't,
He got
don't,
on his nice
don't
shirt.
mind my medium.
D-Rap.
That's from the 80s.
That-
He still got that. None of us have seen the movie, but we've heard all of the rumblings.
Yep.
We've heard about the reviews. Do you plan on seeing the movie?
Absolutely.
For sure.
And
Maybe tonight,
what are
who
your
knows?
thoughts? Let's deep dive and unpack it. Michael Jackson, the king of pop.
Well, I think we touched on it before.
We did.
I think that the demographic is more millennial, older. Like, I don't know if the under 35 crowd is checking for this Michael Jackson movie.
My daughter,
Yeah,
29, husband 30.
but
They was
also
there today.
raised by a
This is
super
true.
fan. You know what I
This
mean?
is true.
So I'd be interested to see those numbers and what the numbers are going to look like.
They said it's
After-
already beaten any biopic. They projected somewhere between 70 and 95 million just first weekend alone.
So projections and actually hitting those numbers, two different things. So we got to wait till the
I
weekend's
think
over.
it's coming.
And what I like what you
You can
said,
pull it up. Last
I
time
want
looked,
I
it was
want to see what
35.
the global numbers are going to look like because
Yes.
I think this movie is going to have a lot of like
Global
global
impact,
appeal,
yes,
right?
100%.
More so than the home stuff.
Mhm.
I will say this because after we had the conversation, I was like, man, let me just like chop up with the people I know that are under 35 and see like check in with them.
Mhm.
And I've asked some people, coworkers, my youngins in the family, y'all going to see the Mike Joyner? That's
Mhm.
all I got from. Not really. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Like they're not as excited as like
yeah.
all my fams that are like 35 and over, my 40 plus
Mhm.
family. They're like, oh yeah, we there first weekend. We there.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing about that, though, and this is the conversation we was having before we started shooting, even with us and business and podcasting and promotion.
Yeah.
Let this weekend pass and TikTok get a hold of it.
Yeah.
That's going to bring that crowd in.
Okay.
They are the generation that follows what's hot. Once the world or specific people say it's, then they jump on it.
Okay.
And I think the resurgence of his music and everything that this is going to bring to TikTok and social media is going to bring them in.
Think it's gonna drive the movie? Or at
I've
least for the
heard
younger
mixed reviews
generation?
about the movie itself.
Yeah.
I heard the music, phenomenal, and takes you back to a time. It's only a partial. So it
Okay,
stops
okay.
around like the Thriller and it doesn't continue going past that. I also
Okay,
heard a
okay.
lot of people say they're comparing it to the 4-hour series that we had with Jason Weaver.
Oh, the American Dream.
Oh.
That,
Yeah,
hey,
the
that was
American
and
Dream,
that was
which was a good,
that was dope.
but that was 4+ hours. This is condensed into a 2-hour movie. So
Yeah.
they said they sped through too much, and didn't
So they wanted
spend
more of a
enough time
storyline.
on it.
Okay.
Which I
That's what
always
I've been
think this
reading.
would have been probably a better Netflix, HBO, Apple series where it was a
Mhm.
4 or 5 part,
Yeah.
like the New Edition one. New
Right.
Edition one was
Knocked
done
it out
perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's just too much of a story to tell about Mike starting at 10 years old all the way up until he died. That's hard to put in a 2-hour movie.
I think the challenge for them is like we've had some amazing biopics.
True.
You mentioned the New Edition. We had
We had some bad ones too.
Denzel killed it with Malcolm X.
Yeah.
NWA.
NWA, Jamie and Ray.
Yeah.
Well,
killed
that's
it.
right now currently the highest grossing is NWA. And they're saying this one is going to beat that one.
How Stella got her groove back.
Yeah.
Chad Boswick in 42. Like we've had some amazing biopics, and so it's like the bar's kind of high.
Yeah.
the
Then
king
there's
of pop.
the people who are not in it. You know, Janet wanted nothing to do with it.
She has mixed feelings about it.
I also heard Diana Ross last minute had her part pulled from it.
Oh,
Who
really?
is the introduction to Berry Gordy and Motown of the Jackson 5. So that's a lot
She
to
wanted
live
it
out.
pulled, or something else happened?
Her
or-
estate, something
Really?
said nope.
Politic-
Another one
because
was,
the
and this
allegations
is
with Mike,
weird,
probably.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Cochran, at some point handled
an
some
issue with
legal
it.
stuff
Yeah.
with Mike, and they were like, nope, that's coming out too. So there was a lot last minute that was pulled.
Yeah.
Well, who wants
So-
to hear about Johnny Cochran and Mike? It's called
But-
Michael.
Right.
It
What
was
was he-
part
what was
of
he-
the
what was he
story
worried
for
about?
some
Yeah, if the
reason.
glove does not fit.
No,
Right.
but
Like,
for
I
some
mean-
reason they went. The most to me was baby sister, the next legendary Jackson behind Mike, wanting nothing to do it. So I saw this reviewer say, like, even during like the filming of scenes where they're at dinner, Rebe, Janet are just not mentioned, like they don't exist,
Oh, wow.
which is weird because
Yeah.
they wanted nothing to
is
do
weird.
with it. So that to me tells me something in itself. The other Jackson who has had their own success, who doesn't need to feed off of Michael's, says, I'm out, I want nothing to
yeah.
do with it, versus the ones who maybe don't have as much success
Yeah,
and
for
doing
sure.
things, are more behind it, kind of worries me a little bit.
Well, why would that worry you? I mean, because I'm assuming as
That the
as
story
immediate,
wasn't told correctly.
Mm.
Why
But if
would Janet
Michael's-
not want anything to do with it if she believed it was done right? There has
I could see
to
that.
be a problem that she said, I want nothing to do with this.
But I mean, the reality is what's right or what's wrong, right?
We're
because
not
it
talking
seems
about current time. You can't even show me as an actress playing me as a kid in your movie. I want nothing
because
to
it's
do
not
with
called the Janet Jackson movie. It's called the Michael movie.
Has she said specifically what her issue was with it, or
I
no?
think it's coming.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm thinking that interview is going to come with somebody that we're going. All I heard was they interviewed LaToya when she was at it, and she just said that she opted to have nothing to do with it, and we respected her wishes.
Okay.
So
The other part too
something
might just be
about-
the money. Like, she doesn't need the money at all. Janet is an empire in her own right,
exactly.
who will probably get her own biopic at some point.
Yeah, and that's
So
the-
Will she?
yeah.
Will she?
Janet still holds the records as one of like
Yeah.
female
You
pop
said would
artists.
she would
yeah.
she get her
Get
own
her own
biopic?
biopic?
Oh, come on,
Yeah,
Janet.
something happened to
Absolutely.
Janet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just the fact that they can tie it back to her brother.
Yeah.
You think about, that's what I'm saying. The music he did once he was old and who
I mean,
he
she was good. I mean, she, you know,
was
I
with
mean,
his sister Janet. He never went back and got
so
none
if
of the rest
nobody's
of them.
going to see Mike, who's going to see Janet?
People want to see, but people want to
yeah,
see
yeah.
Mike. I didn't think people.
No, that's
definitely
what I'm saying.
going
No,
to-
but it's just if that's so controversial, or you know, or you're gonna have a 35 and under, like Michael,
It's
the
just
king of
like
pop.
us.
You can be like Janet. You can be like, who?
If-
Remember when
if-
her little boob fell out? Like,
Whatever
nah, she
happens
did more
in
than
this
that.
world,
was
Dion
good.
blows up, and there's a movie about you, and your brothers want nothing to do with it.
I only got
That's-
one brother, so it can't be
but
two.
that's- We got to question
feel you,
why.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your family wants nothing
because
to
they
do
didn't get
with.
the fatty.
How important is it for these biopics to like be honest in their depiction?
I
Like,
think
do
very-
you want everything in there, or
when
do you want things left out?
something
I don't
like
think
somebody
everything.
as big as Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
the Michael Jordans, Tiger Woods, people know the story without seeing the bio. This has been a story that they've done a rendition of this
A few
probably
times.
25
Right.
times, from little low level oxygen, whatever, VH1. There's been a ton of these. So people know the story. So for you to bring it to the film and the big screen, you got to kind of get it right.
Even the controversial stuff.
and they didn't even touch it. That's the problem people
Well,
have.
because they couldn't. There's no way you can go from 10 to what age was he when he passed, touch the controversy.
Yeah.
Contrary
In
44,
a 3,
I believe it was around
in a
44.
even in a, you couldn't squeeze that in a 3-hour movie. There's no way. It's just too long of a Michael Jordan or Kobe, for example. We're talking about okay,
Kobe in Colorado.
no, but no, we're talking about high school, wanting to be in the NBA, playing basketball, coming to the Lakers, the
Nobody
championship,
cares
the bullshit.
about Kobe Bryant in
No,
high school.
I'm saying how quick you can do the story.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Oh, how
we're
yeah,
talking
you gotta
about
condense
somebody
it.
from a kid becomes a star and goes
But that's what I'm
all the
saying.
way. That's a lot of story to
It
tell.
is, but it's not going to be every. So in
Think about it.
1978,
Just off of the whatever-
1979, it's
So
not,
you
no
got
one
Gary,
cares.
Indiana, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You got the
Mhm.
Jackson 5,
And then
Michael
Jackson-
Jackson.
The Jackson
got,
5 and Gary is it go together.
But you got to tell the story of how he became who he was. You got to tell the Wiz story. You got to tell him in the first album.
Yeah.
You got to go to Thriller. You got to go to him and the Monkees and all of that shit. You got to go to when he
Do
did the
you?
Pepsi commercial and got burnt. You
Mm.
got to touch all of this stuff that people are looking. The moonwalk in Pasadena, the first time we see it in the Motown 25. There's a lot of Thriller in itself, the greatest selling album of all time.
But
You got to
not gonna-
dedicate a
But
portion
you
of the
also
movie to
have to
that.
make it like I feel like you make it too long. That shit boring. You know what I mean? Like you can't like you're going to. So what they tried to do was highlight the fun, the music, the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we got enough going on in this world to be like, oh man, you know, Joe beat
I
him.
think for the
he did
fans
this,
of this
that, you know what I mean?
movie or of the person,
I'm trying to moonwalk.
you're talking about somebody too legendary that's broken too many.
Laws?
Possibly.
No, just playing. Allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
I don't know.
What we do know
Yeah.
is we're talking about the greatest selling artist, black man,
Yep.
of all time. And we're 30 years
Dude, it doesn't
removed and
matter if you're
nobody's
black
not
or
even
white.
close.
Yeah.
No. And that's the song, and that's something we're going to touch on. But let's unpack it. What are your thoughts on MJ? To me,
Yeah.
greatest artist of all time.
Yeah.
Hands down, undeniable. I haven't seen personally, following music in my career, nobody that has even come 10 steps down closer to him. I think he's on a league of his own.
Yeah.
One of the things that when we first hit the group chat and we started talking about it, I was watching a podcast the other day and they were having a conversation about Tatiana Ali.
Okay.
And one of the panelists called Tatiana Ali Black Excellence.
Okay.
And then somebody was like, I think we use that word too much.
Oh.
And
that's not. Yeah.
then there was a comeback that somebody said, and he was like, so, deep diving that, who do we use it too much? He was like, Tatiana Ali, never been in any shit, went to Harvard, unscathed through media bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
graduated, has a family, Black excellence. We can't call her that, but we call Puff Black excellence.
Mm.
Which then, to me, brought up, where does the line cross? And this is when you were talking about celebrity worship.
Yeah.
Somebody's accused of something.
Yep.
Everybody in this room, how I feel about it. I've been accused and had to go to court and truly have a jury trial on some shit that I 100% didn't do.
Oh wow. Okay.
The person who I was accused of doing it to
Yeah.
got on the stand and said I lied,
Yeah.
but I was still in the fucking trial.
Yeah.
Because once the law got into it, they just ran with the shit.
Yeah.
So and being in entertainment and music and just seeing the behind the scenes that people don't see of what people will do to get to a celebrity ball player and blah, 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 you would be amazed. I've seen both sides of it.
For
so
sure.
I'm not always easy to just say, yeah, he did that shit.
Yeah.
People make up shit for a money grab. Shit goes wrong because they get it brokenhearted, whatever it may be. But is R. Kelly, Puffy no longer Black excellence because of other shit? Or is their body of work still holds them as Black excellence? So everybody wants to condemn Mike about some charges he was never convicted of.
Yeah.
And that takes away from who he is. Like, we're not talking about somebody like Puff's in jail because he got found guilty on some shit. R. Kelly's in jail because he
Not
got
even funny. I
found
don't even know
guilty
why I'm
on some
laughing.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike was accused and beat it.
Yeah.
But
Literally.
he still holds the people still want to say, oh, he was a this.
Yeah.
Even though we've got people on both sides of it. Children that were around him was like, never, ain't happened, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then there's people on the other side that did. How I look at it, and then I'm going to toss it to you guys. We all have children here.
Yep.
And I was telling my wife, she was like, you always jump to defend. I said, I'm just going to be real with you. I have a son. I have 2 sons.
Yep.
A celebrity touches my son, there is no amount of money you can pay me to get you off your ass. To just go away and be quiet because you wrote me a check. So that's the first fucking problem I have with it.
Yeah.
You have a daughter.
Yep.
Something happens with a celebrity and some shit really went down. Is there a check I can give you to not be on my ass and
Not
come
at all.
after me?
Not at all. There's no dollar amount.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the first part I question. And like, oh, he paid him off. You touched my kid as a kid. and I took money and let you live and perform and go around Earth? No, absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah.
Like, so
But you also
that's
have
my
to,
first problem with it.
you also have to admit that everybody's not you, though. Because you can't be bought off doesn't mean that Joe Blow over there can't be bought off.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
So you're telling me he found
weirdos.
multiple people that could?
I'm telling you this. And I think we'll all agree on this. You guys have sons.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever a point in your son's life where they could go have a sleepover with a grown man? Where you felt comfortable with that?
That ain't happening.
That's not happening.
If I'm the type of parent who's looking for a payout and a setup, I can.
But I'm not saying that. I'm
No,
asking,
I wouldn't even look that far.
would you ever let your son
Yeah.
go have a sleepover with a
I
grown
don't
man?
let him have sleepovers with fucking other kids that I don't know and
Thank
blah
you.
blah blah.
Thank
Like,
you.
absolutely not.
Where it got rocky for me, and I'm just saying me, is when you have Michael Jackson in an interview saying, I don't see the problem with having kids sleep over in my bed. I was like, that's weirdo behavior. Whether you were a celebrity or not,
Yeah, we all thought
I was
that
like,
back then. Yeah.
you have to give me some room to be able to defend you. I can't defend that. And that seemed weird to me, right? And I'm like, that should seem weird to everybody.
Yeah.
So when
It was
so
odd,
so when I say
absolutely.
celebrity worship, I want to first define it so you guys can understand what I mean by it, because I think it tied into what we were saying earlier about the David Cat. Is like, celebrity worship is when you have so much admiration for a celebrity, you put them on such a high pedestal that when their behavior is questionable or they're engaged in some activity that you know is wrong, instead of trying to defend the person, you're defending this idea of this individual.
Correct.
Because you like them so much, you have so much admiration for them. You'll look past it, where if it was a normal person doing the same thing, you'd be like, oh, hell no. You know, if somebody would call D and said, hey, your son's is over here sleeping in the bed with this dude, like, exactly. So I think for me, the conversation I wanted to like engage with you guys about was like, okay, how much is too much when it comes to celebrity worship? When do we say that, like, yeah, that's not okay? And maybe a couple things are undeniable about Mike. His artistry, his contributions to the culture, his talent. Yeah. Nobody would argue those things. But there is some controversy attached to him. You know what I mean? And it's like, is he excellence? I don't know anymore, because I have no sympathy for any pedophiles or anybody that would do something to a kid. I wasn't there. So it's still alleged. I'm not saying that he's guilty of this thing, but if you're on camera saying, oh yeah, this is okay, I don't see anything wrong with that, I'm like, dang, Mike, like, I wanted to have your back on this, Mike. But like, you out here said some wild things, Mike. Like,
how big of a MJ fan were you before all of the controversy? Would you say you're...
I mean, big is hard to like... big is relative, right? But like, I grew up in that era, so like, I was excited. I grew up doing the moonwalk, the dances, like everything.
So
I have a couple of Michael Jackson stories.
Yeah.
As
Slept
a
in his
kid,
oh man,
my mom had a friend who was the Jacksons' photographer.
Okay.
So she would always bring pictures, autographed pictures of the Jackson 5, Michael, giving them to my mom to give them to me. One day, I don't remember. I couldn't have been any more than probably somewhere between 7 and 10.
Okay.
My mom's company has a getaway at Magic Mountain to bring the family and your kids to have like Magic Mountain Day.
Yeah.
I remember driving out to Magic Mountain, me and my friend, my mom was driving the car, driving. We get to Magic Mountain, everybody splits up, goes on rides, everybody pairs into their personal friends, blah, blah, blah. Now, I remember it was time to have lunch, and everybody met at a certain area, and these kids came running up with their parents, and they're like, you won't believe who we saw.
Yeah.
And we're like, who? And they're like, Michael Jackson is here. I'm like, okay, you're playing with me.
Yeah.
You just know that I love Michael Jackson, my mom, blah, blah, blah. Didn't think anything of it. We finished lunch, go back to get on rides. I don't remember what this ride is called. We're in the line, and we're the next to get up on the ride.
Okay.
All of a sudden, we see a golf cart coming from the opposite side, like the back end where the production people come from. And there's somebody little and somebody big coming out with personal security. It's Michael Jackson and Webster.
Wow.
The line starts going crazy.
For sure.
me, my friend who's my same age, probably another kid, and they're right behind me. And grown people are now trying to stampede to get to whatever to get to Michael Jackson. He sees this, walks over to the thing, picks me up, pulls me over the thing. And
Who does? Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Only
People that get to ride the ride.
Yeah.
I'm sitting behind him. Michael and Webster, the ride goes, ride stops. They usher him out, let him go on his way, and then I'm able to go back with my family.
Yeah.
My mom was already a huge Michael Jackson fan. For her to see that and what they did to make sure her son didn't get hurt because he saw this, he could have just ignored it, got on the ride and be
Come
like,
here,
whatever
little
happens,
guy.
it is.
Corey never took a bath after that.
No. And then working in radio, we got to tour Neverland, do that. I also got to see Michael Jackson come have a conversation with radio people for the Radio Music Awards in Vegas. And I'll tell you, like, this is during the making of the band. Puff comes in with probably 40 security guards.
Okay.
You can't get close to him.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson comes in with 2 dudes that look like fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Coming in looking like Power Rangers.
And I'm sure they were that too.
Yeah. When he stepped on the podium, I remember looking around the room and you had grown people sitting Indian style in awe of, oh shit.
Yeah.
We're looking at Michael fucking Jackson.
Indian style.
Like, no, just like people were like,
yeah,
crisscross applesauce. Like, what?
I say 2 things.
Mike.
I gauge people on their interaction of things that they do. Like I was looking the other day, I went through a deep dive of videos. They were showing Mike at when he performed at the Super Bowl and what he did to talk about, he had all the people holding up the sign for the different children around the world.
Oh, yeah.
I look at my own interaction and things and songs that he's made. And I find it hard to believe that I can have a monster on this hand, but then somebody who gave to children's hospitals, underserved countries, and blah, blah, blah on the other hand, but could be this monster people are making him out to be on the other hand.
But you also know the celebrity. You don't know him personally.
No, true. Second to that, I also know the Michael Jackson story, and this was touched on, and Janet just had not a biopic because it was her being interviewed in like this 3-part story where she talked about my brothers and who they were before I was even born, and born into this. I never had friends. I didn't experience a childhood because I didn't know, were you trying to be my friend because you like me as Janet?
Right.
Or were you trying to be my friend because of my brothers and the Jackson 5 and blah, blah, blah. I've also heard Mike tell that story of, this came to me at 10. I didn't get to ever go to a school, ever interact with other kids and play.
Yeah.
So as an adult, think about you never being able to go outside, throw a football, play, go to the Y, be on a team, because as soon as you show up at 10, there's a mob of people that come in here. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's how he was explaining why his love for children and doing things,
he didn't get to
maybe
be a
not the
child.
baby and having kids in his bed, but he's like, I didn't have sleepovers and do this shit.
Yeah.
I had no childhood. I went straight to Star and all of this and recognizable around the world. So it might not make sense to you, but I kind of wanted that and never got to have it.
Yeah.
Is it strange? Yes. If my childhood was taken away from me, I could think why I might be a little bit weird too of never being able to go outside and play tag, water balloons, skateboard, do shit that normal kids do, and always being at work, driving down the street like, it's probably fun to go play basketball at the local whatever, but I can't do that.
Right.
Because as soon as I show up, people are calling and whatever, the paparazzi's here and it's done.
Yeah.
That's weird for somebody. So I think we're also, you can't, in a normal world, yes, it's weird. If my life has been what his life was, is it that weird when you look at it through that lens?
Absolutely.
Okay.
D, jump in here.
I'm just, Corey was rich, huh? He got to get
picked up by Mike.
Mike. He out there with Puff talking about get that.
No, this is why. This is me
I'm
working
living
in radio, doing all this,
and passing by Ray J in the
but
Carson Mall.
no,
It's
but
like,
this
what is this?
And this is a different story. But this is
You see?
my girl sometimes says, you never believe the victim. And I said, it's different when you've worked on the other side of that. Because I've seen working in radio or for the label or being around artists what people are willing to do.
Yeah.
My sister growing up worked at the Ritz-Carlton in fucking Marina Del Rey where the Lakers used to live. And she would come tell the stories of the women scaling gates to get in there to get to these basketball players.
Yeah, because
nobody ever tells that part of the story.
Yeah,
It's
for
just
sure.
Kobe was whenever and he raped a girl. Why the fuck was the girl in the room? Like, let's talk. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that we've all been in situations where if it doesn't go the other person's way, how quick it can be an allegation. And I didn't do shit.
Right.
Like, that's why I'm saying you just gotta not the whole David shit. You gotta not put yourself in that situation.
We're not gonna put David and Mike in the same.
Meaning that you should have never been around a 14-year-old girl, and this shit would have never been some shit for you to have to do some dumb shit to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He's a monster, but I'm saying there is another side of the story with consenting adults that people will celebrity worship.
Yeah.
What people are willing, we all remember, like I said, I vividly in high school, the finest girls in the schools was talking to 21, 22-year-olds getting picked up in Eddie Bauer Explorers and shit, and it was just socially acceptable. But then when some shit goes wrong, he's a monster.
Yeah.
You knew what the fuck she was doing. When he was picking her up, you was okay with it then.
Yeah.
When he was doing whatever, you was okay with it. But when some shit goes wrong, then we jump the fence and blame the guy. There's also some another side to that
now,
story
too, though. It's new information. You got to look at things differently. What was acceptable yesterday may not be today, and you got to, You had mentioned it before, the lack of accountability, right? So we got to be accountable for those situations. But yeah, sure, we saw it back in the day all the time. It's it was overlooked, right? Or even you mentioned Mike, right? We all knew like, oh, that's a little odd. Then we say, well, that is still Mike. Well, he still didn't have a child. Was that acceptable? No.
You had a pet monkey. That tells you something wasn't like does that type of shit?
People with money. I mean, what didn't Mike Tyson have a leopard or a tiger?
Yeah.
Oh, bear on mine, because they like whatever. I probably would too.
Yeah.
I mean, walking in with a panther, like
just look at Neverland and what he built.
Yeah,
it's somebody that didn't have. He was searching for a child.
He was tortured and tormented. If not, he wouldn't have.
Like,
went out
I
the way he
remember
went, though. You know
years
what I mean?
ago when they would show like video of him just to go to a mall, he had to like put on prosthetic because he just wanted to see what it was like to go out and be around people without this shit being a mob. That's crazy to me that you have to do that he couldn't go outside.
I think I could be sympathetic for what he had to go through, but still be able to draw a hard line in the sand.
Okay.
And for me, that when you admit something, it's different from me assuming something. When you're in an interview saying there should be nothing wrong with me wanting to have kids sleep in the bed with me, I there's no room for me to defend you. When Bill Cosby in a deposition said, yes, I bought these drugs and I gave them to women because I wanted to have sex with them, it doesn't give me room to defend you. Does it affect your legacy? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't pretend like it doesn't impact.
Since let's jump in on that one. So,
but let me say this,
Bill and the pills.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's no blame on anybody showing up to his hotel room at 12, 1, 2 in the morning.
They was looking for pudding pops.
They got him.
Let me say this though,
they got him
because you are teetering what I think is like a scary line.
Correct.
Because a girl shows up to my room at 1 or 2 in the morning, I can make some assumptions as to why she's there, but I don't know if when she got there she may have changed her mind. Now, if I give her something that now makes her incoherent, where she can't think and she can't say no, I'm uncomfortable because I've slipped something into her drink, I'm to blame. My thing is this.
You're a predator at that point.
Yeah. Like, is he 100% to blame? I can't say because I'm not in those situations. But you have to give me some room to defend you. And if you don't,
then I pose a question to you.
Yeah.
So, and we're not going to deep dive into Bill's case, but I will say this.
Yeah.
There were numerous people who came up accused him of things.
Yeah, for sure.
All of which were actresses who did not make it.
Okay.
I remember posing the question, we were having this conversation, me and the other couple of friends, and I said, where's the person that did make it that this happened to?
Yeah.
Why is it always the people who didn't get what they wanted, who decades later come out and say, Adam did this to me?
Yeah.
Where's the person who did do their career went well to say it?
Yeah.
Like, I just find a line in, and then another line in which this is something that we talked about. Somebody just tweeted it. Not, I have a problem with our greats being torn down.
I've heard that. I've heard that
Every
conversation.
black celebrity
Yeah.
that makes it to a certain level, there's some bullshit.
It seems like maybe
And
they've
you
been
just
targeted,
tell
right?
me that there is nobody else that has done none of this extra. You
Well,
telling me
there
Puffy
is.
talk
There's-
himself
there's
this
a-
type of shit?
There's the Epstein files,
Yeah.
right? Where they're trying to cover up, but there's some names in there that are
But
mentioned.
there's no.
There was the entire Catholic Church,
Yeah.
which
facts.
still blows my mind that people just was like, can hear about this scandal and then go back to church the next week.
Bruh.
Like that,
After they didn't settle for your donations, your
Mhm.
and you find out
offerings.
the entire church was complicit in
Nah.
trying to cover up this
Yeah.
scandal
That's what I'm
of
saying.
taking advantage of children. But that's a valid point to me. It does seem a little bizarre that like you guys are targeting black
Yeah,
celebrities.
Bill Cosby is the worst guy on earth. Bill Cosby, I remember right before all of this shit broke, was also the Bill Cosby that was about to buy NBC or some bullshit like that.
Oh,
That
gotcha.
had that much power and the #1 rated show for 13 plus years. Michael Jackson, who owns the biggest catalog in music history, bought it from the Beatles and about to buy
Right.
Sony. All of a sudden, this man's a child predator.
Yeah.
And there's always some shit.
So it's
when
the timing
our
that
guys-
you say that you
It's
think
not
is a little
just the
fishy.
timing, is just we come from an era as black men,
Yeah.
one of, I would say, shared across the board. Like, if you wanted me to lose my shit and risk all, would be to talk about my mother.
Yeah.
We have a protection of women because of mom, grandma, sisters, now daughters, once
Yeah.
we become fathers, that I think there was certain shit that wasn't acceptable in our communities.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't beat a woman, call a woman a certain name. I remember the most trouble I ever got in my life in school. A girl said something to me and I mumbled under my breath, stupid bitch. And she went to the principal. My mom got called, and just what my mom said to me about, like, you really said that? Like,
Yeah.
the disappointment in her face. Like, what would you do if some man called me that?
Yeah.
And I was like,
You were wild out.
lesson learned.
Yep.
But I say this to say that we're always attacked with doing things like to children, to women. That is not normal in our community. But they've taught society that black men do this and take us down this way. And I just, like, you telling
it's
me
not
there's
normal.
not been one white dude that has Elvis, nobody of them, none of them's done the shit, but we keep doing it. I just find that fucking funny.
So do you believe then that like their impact is like minimized or diminished because all of a sudden
I think
let's
that
go back because
people
I want to
like
go back
to.
to the black excellence, right?
Yeah.
Is R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Diddy,
Like,
all these guys, Mike, because they
Mhm.
had this controversy.
Like, I don't want to get sued, but I was just
Yeah.
telling wifey yesterday, there's a certain celebrity, current celebrity out right now that I used to be a fan of that I just can't fuck with anymore
Okay.
because he was way too vocal about the whole R. Kelly shit.
Okay.
And when I told her, she said this statement: no matter what we find R. Kelly guilty of, he will never be R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that some of that is at play where people think if I knock him down and accuse of blah, 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 that diminishes and takes him out the running. No, nigga, it don't.
Yeah.
Your music up against R. Kelly's music, bar none, allegations,
Well,
is
R.
night
Ke-
and day.
But R. Kelly took himself down.
He did.
Diddy took
Well,
himself. These cats were found guilty.
What was
Right.
Diddy found guilty of?
Well, the whole tape with Cassie, right?
That's not what he was on trial for.
No, I'm
though.
saying, but that one's black or white, right? Like you're
If
beating a woman.
100%.
So I'm
if he
talking-
was on trial for that,
No, but I'm not talking about the trial. I'm talking about the thing that's going to tarnish your legacy. Like people can't unsee that video. So not the trial thing. He is guilty of beating that woman.
But that takes away that black excellence because that's
So
not
I'm asking
black
if it does for you. So
It
because
does.
that's
That
what he
will
asked.
for me.
Does that compromise your excellence?
Correct.
does that take away Biggie, Faith, Total,
He didn't-
112, Mace?
It would have been them. It would
everything?
have been them without him because they had talent.
That's not necessarily true. I think that's a
Biggie had
easier-
talent. Mace had talent.
Yes, but Mace wanted to come out, murder Mace, and play the gangster rapping game.
He
that
still
most
would have been
If
dope.
you watched
though.
the Biggie movie, Biggie had a problem with the
Pace
juicy
did-
and all of that old school shit.
Puff
That
didn't
Puff
make
was
him,
like,
man.
let me do this.
Yeah.
And this is how we're gonna get people, and that's like a whole nother conversation, a deep dive of people say, like Jay, one of his famous lines, you said you made Jay, well, go make another one.
Facts. So that's what I'm saying. So
but
did he never make another one?
The producer, okay, how many people have left Puff now after Bad Boy and Wood Stardom have they found when it comes to music?
It's also it was the
you
timing.
can't keep being that successful time and time again.
So is he still excellent for you?
Yeah.
There's an asterisk because, but the shit that he was accused for, that he's in jail for,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
What I saw in the video here in LA with Cassie, you can't come back from that for me, bro, because I got daughters, I got.
Man,
Right.
he drug her down the,
Like,
down
that
the
was-
hallway. And
but-
yeah.
There's also some people on the other side that will say, again, why'd you stay in it?
Yeah.
Is it because if Puffy was broke, would we have seen a video of him doing that shit, or was he allowed to get away with it because you were with him because of his money and willing to take whatever he did?
I mean, I don't know how her home life was before that. I
Yeah.
mean, she was looking for it, and it's one of those things where he had the money after he did that. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, babe, I'm sorry, it's never gonna happen again. You right? Because she's looking for the good in him, and maybe he'll change, right?
So
Because
then,
But how does
she
it- how-
have any? Is she complicit in it because of that? The first time somebody puts their hands on you and you keep returning because
Oh,
you love
man.
what they have. How
Or you,
much
or
of
you,
it are
or you might, or
But
you
she
might
loved
love
him,
that
though.
that
She loved
individual.
him.
Exactly.
she
There's
was
been
in love
plenty-
with him
there's
to
been
put up
plenty-
with it. She still loved him when
There's
you
been
watched
plenty
it.
of men and women that have been in domestic situations where there's some weird attachment there psychologically where they can't leave.
It's not weird. It's love though,
It's-
right?
it's-
And you
okay.
like he
It's
loves
a toxic
me.
type of love,
And
right?
correct.
Yeah.
You know, and he'll change. And when he changed, because those bad times are moments, right? It's
Mhm.
not the entire relationship. Like
Yeah.
he's just dragging her down the street every time you see him.
So they had some highs.
They had the highs.
How
It's
old
just-
was Cassie when this happened?
I don't
I don't
remember
know,
the
yeah.
age. Yeah.
But there was a huge age difference between her and Puff.
I mean, what is Puff almost 60 now? And she's
Maybe.
still in her 30s,
I'm not
almost
sure.
40.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, and
I'm
he was
not-
more established, so he was already
Right.
established, and
Yes.
was that
And
power
I know that
dynamics there.
he kind of held that over her head of "I will make you a star." Blah
Right.
blah blah. Again, not excusing what this Negro did. I don't think what he went to trial for, he should be in jail for. The shit that he did with Cassie, that 100%, I believe, will diminish him. But that doesn't take away from the guy who made all those hits, who when the hits stopped,
Yeah.
went over to make Sean John clothing when that shit wasn't cracking no more, went over to making the band that just kept reinventing himself.
Yeah.
To
Gave us-
which you
gave
were
us
saying
Ciroc.
about it wasn't him.
For
them.
some of the guys,
He
yeah.
seems to be the one that I ain't got no more singers and whatever. Ciroc. Oh, I ain't
Well,
got
here's a
whatever.
partnership. He didn't
kept
make it though.
on.
That's what I'm saying.
But
He
I'm
didn't make
saying-
Ciroc.
But
He
culturally-
You can't be that lucky.
Yeah.
that
Culturally,
many
for
times.
us in the culture,
Mhm.
how do we regard our people that now have these controversies? Are they still?
Man, look, no,
Are they still excellent? Are they still your
Bro,
guys? Or-
I ain't fuck with Puff when he let Shine take the rap for that heat. You know what I mean? Because you, Puff, you should be able to give my man's an attorney. Like you just left him out to dry. He just left everybody out to dry every
If
time
we
it's a
leave
situation.
so he's
here
not excellent then.
And go
Hell
have
nah.
dinner.
Mm.
And
Not for
because
me.
you somebody with us is trying to impress one of us and pulls out a gun and pops somebody. That ain't on me, nigga.
Puff shot him. Puff was the one that busted.
Is allegedly the one that had the gun.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to. He didn't have to show off. He was
He
already
put it
in the
on
streets.
Sean. I don't know if you saw Sean was like, because he talked about it. He said, man, I went to court one day and it's like me and Puff had the same attorney. All of a sudden, they kind of turned on me. He didn't know what was going on. Like, so yeah.
I'm not saying he is a monster.
Yeah.
Or he definitely isn't a saint. And there has been some shit that we have seen that definitely diminishes.
Yeah.
I just have a problem that, one, as Black people in entertainment, we don't have too many to look up to.
Okay.
And for some reason, the ones we do keep being taken the fuck off.
Because they're imperfect people. They're imperfect. People are imperfect.
Where are the other people that have done the shit?
Bruh.
Elvis married a kid.
He did.
We don't hear shit about Elvis, and it's never brought the fuck up.
Man, Elvis took music from Black people.
He did, but he's still regarded. But as soon as we talk about Michael Jackson, we're talking about allegations. Like I was watching something the other day on the Breakfast Club.
But actually, no, because look, he's still being celebrated right now. This release, you see people
being
turning
celebrated, but where was this backlash of hate when we talk about as soon as this was announced, the hate came?
Because you can't escape it anymore. It's tethered to him now forever.
Facts.
How do you break away from it?
Again, and this is another conversation I had with my girl. She said, you victim blame. I said, there's two things I know in this world.
Yeah.
There is a God.
Uh-huh.
And we will all be judged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say Mike did touch somebody.
Yeah.
You ain't never did shit that you can sit and place blame on that man that you ain't, you're basing, what are we basing good and bad on? Because there's some shit, if I could just open the scope and see your whole life, it's probably some shit I can dig up too.
Yeah.
Facts.
Why is
I never touched no kids.
Never.
Not saying that.
Yeah,
but
that to me is where it's like
it
gets very touchy for a lot of people when you're victimizing children or even women. It's like, oh man, it's a tough conversation because I will admit this. I don't know if I should admit this on camera, but
no, go ahead.
I got some R. Kelly on the playlist still.
A lot of people do.
Am I supposed to take them off? There's a couple Puff joints on my workout list for the gym. The Victory joint goes hard. Like that's when I max out my bench press. Do I take them off?
If you're gonna erase Puff from music, if you deep dive into all the shit, you erasing probably half your catalog.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're not.
So then what's
Heavy D that we were just listening to, Father MC, before Puffy had Bad Boy with Arista, he was making fucking hits.
Maybe
Jodeci,
25.
You gotta take 20%. That out the shit.
Jodeci.
Mary J.
Maybe
Blige.
20%, but not. I mean,
so you can still appreciate the body of work and separate it from the person.
You can because it's not going to be him on everyone. You know, like his voice. So,
but I'm not just saying Puff. I'm talking about everybody. Mike, everybody that we spoke about today. You can appreciate that.
Yeah, you can still appreciate their body of work and separate that from the actual person. Because again, like I mentioned, we put stock in people, and it's imperfect people in an imperfect world.
Yeah,
right. We hold people and celebrities, and up to they walk on water.
Yeah,
they don't. They're people.
Do you think
they need to be given grace. They're going to mess up. Now, mess up to some extent? Hell no.
Right.
Now if Puff gets out and is like, oh, not if, but when he gets out, do I think he should be in jail? Nah. Right? Because that case to me was a money grab.
Yeah, that's
a money grab. Like you said, he's not in jail for that. He's in jail for all the free calls, and then they tried to tie human trafficking and all this. And now they're even about to unwind that, trying to say that, it's pornography. It's no different than
just nobody has ever gotten the sentence that he got because of the man law and this type of shit.
Correct.
Like, so it's I just have a problem with people in our community. We're quick to tear down those of us that make it on shit. One, like we are without sin and ain't done some shit. I'm sure if there was an ant on the wall and some decisions, things that we've all done in life that was brought to the forefront,
absolutely,
we could be looked at in a certain light.
Yeah, for sure.
So, one, I give people the ability to adapt and change.
Okay.
Now you said there are certain shit that we don't turn a blind eye to.
Right.
Women and children.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know if you watched the video yesterday that I sent you from Charlemagne where he talked about 17 years of the FBI investigating Mike for that child shit. They found nothing.
So here's
Why
my
the fuck?
Yeah.
How are we holding somebody? If they could have took him out and put him in jail, trust me, they would have.
Yeah.
He ain't that fucking powerful.
So that doesn't, I don't care about the 17 years. Like, that doesn't affect me. What affected me was watching him in that interview saying, it's okay for me to have kids in my bed.
When he was
He
trying to
didn't say
justify it.
touch
Yeah.
him. He just said to have in my bed.
He's
But
like, what do you-
again,
what do you
I said
mean?
my initial
Yeah.
question was, would you have allowed your son to do that?
Me personally, no.
You?
Hell
I'm not
no.
letting my daughter do
Nah.
that. Yeah. It's
Nah.
wrong. And I don't forgive it. I don't make light of it because, well, he's Mike and he had this troubled childhood. It's like all I see, and it's going to sound like I'm dragging Mike, but I'm not.
Mhm.
I see this individual who was troubled psychologically because you saw this guy change his image completely, right? I know he said he had the vitiligo, and I don't know if I'm
Vitiligo,
pronouncing it right, but like you went all the way to a white man, you changed your nose, your face, you're wearing this
Yeah.
makeup, you straighten
Mhm.
your hair.
Yeah.
Like you were dealing with some stuff
Yeah, for sure.
psychologically
He
where
was,
it's like,
he was trouble.
I feel like he ascended to that level of celebrity that they talk about where you've gotten so big now, you're almost in isolation, right? Like it's
was.
hard to get to you. And it should be when you're at that level. But the people that you had in your life that could tell you, hey, D, you're tripping right now.
Mhm.
Corey, you're doing too much. Like those people aren't around anymore because you've reached a level of success that very few people ever meet. So what you're doing is you're living in an echo chamber now.
Mhm.
Nobody's there to tell you you're wrong. Everybody's telling you you're right. And when you all of a sudden have these kids coming over to sleep in your bed, there's no one around you close to you saying, bro, you probably shouldn't be doing that. Or when
Yeah.
somebody does, like
It's
in that interview with the
accountability.
reporter was like, that seems inappropriate.
Yeah.
You just think he's tripping because
Yeah.
all I've ever hear is everybody praising me every single day, telling me
Mhm.
how great I am. Nobody ever disagrees with me. You're the one person that's disagreed with me maybe in like 2 or 3 years. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to believe you're right.
Mhm.
I
like-
saw that in his face because he was even trying to, almost looking like, well, what do you mean? That's
You're questioning
why
me?
is that a problem, right? And him kind of even asking, like, prove it to me why that's a problem.
Right. Your reality
Nothing
becomes a little
happened.
warped.
Yeah, nothing happened. It was just us sleep. Yeah,
If you're
sure,
an
I'm
adult
44.
that doesn't
I mean,
trust other adults and you're, for whatever reason, pulled towards hanging out with children, you're going to do childlike things,
Yeah.
which is like sleepovers and shit like that. Now, I'm not condoning it, but I'm also saying we're talking about a life we can't understand because, like you said, it's so far out there.
Very few
that,
people get to that level.
The fact that he could have used his time to hang around with models and blah, blah, blah. But he just had so much of an uncomfortability of being around adults and other people his age. He was pushed towards children.
so at the same age, would you go sleep in his bed? Like, we just hanging out, bruh.
I'm going to say if you I'm going to say as one.
I might. I don't know. Like, hey,
I don't
man,
think that our
we ain't
parents-
about to spoon, bro.
No.
But yeah.
I don't think as parents, as black parents, my parents would have allowed it.
No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about
That's
as
the
a
first
grown man.
No, nigga. But I can see as a kid, if I'm at Michael Jackson's house and the thing is, y'all want to sleep in here, what kid would say no? This is Michael fucking Jackson.
Yeah.
We have never seen
me?
nobody.
I don't-
We're going back to that era, that time.
I
This
still
nigga has
don't
a
wanna
fucking
sleep
zoo
with
at
no
his house.
grown
Yeah.
man.
I'm not
I
saying
go to
that
the
is
LA
right.
Zoo. There's more animals.
So you think Mike was mentally stable?
Hell
No,
no.
I don't think that you can be.
Okay.
Like when I look at, like I said, when I looked at that Janet thing, I was like, damn. And this is Janet.
Yeah.
We talking about we can crown Mike the biggest celebrity that there has ever been.
Yeah.
I
probably
can't
so,
think
yeah.
of anybody that comes even fucking close to
Yeah.
we've had.
Globally, no.
No.
Yeah.
So, like you said, no matter where he goes in the world, that's one picture they know who the fuck that is. That's
Right.
Michael fucking Jackson.
Yeah.
So to not be, I can't go to the grocery store. I can't go to the mall. Everywhere I go, I have to be isolated or build this fucking compound and bring everything I want here because I can't go the fuck outside.
I can afford it.
Yeah.
I do it.
But then we're talking about for 3, 4, 5 decades. Yes, he was fucked up.
Yeah.
Like just not being able to have human interaction.
Right.
And this came from me being a kid. And my family shit ain't really that cool. And
Right.
Pops is a problem and blah, blah, blah. Yes, he was
Brothers.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no mistaking that he was fucked up. Now, you give us that type of celebrity, we'd have been fucking with the Victoria's Secret models or some other shit. He was some different. So you gotta, yes, he was 100%
But
fucked
that's
up.
also
But
that's from a perspective of having had a childhood. And then, you know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
saying his childhood was robbed. So if
as a kid, he comes out
know?
seeing my brothers practice blah, 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 however many hours a day because
Yeah.
Pops wants them to be a band.
that's it.
I'm looking at these niggas like, y'all suck. Wait till I get up there. I'm about to show y'all how to really do this shit. And then, so everything, and then they even talk about when he was on tour and doing things with them as the Jackson 5, they were much older, getting the groupies and the buses and the hotel. And he's a kid seeing this shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're trying to grab him, and he's like, what the fuck?
He got robbed of his innocence,
Yeah,
right?
I'm a 10-year-old fucking kid. I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck this is. Like,
Yeah.
so that whole shit.
Yeah.
But I still think you can't take away. Mike is 100% black excellence.
Okay.
Puff, up for debate.
Up for debate. R. Kelly?
Musically, yes.
Okay.
Puff, I think there's an asterisk next to him because he's the only one that I believe still has a chance to redeem himself. What he does
agree
when
with
he
that.
comes out of jail
Yeah.
is going to determine how his legacy is cemented in the
Yeah.
history. Now, if he come out and it's the same shit, nigga,
I don't think it is.
It is what
I
it
feel
is.
like even leading up to it, it's his. He started to think about how, well,
I don't
I
know.
don't know, you know how to put it. I mean,
Me
he was
and
thrown
you,
under the
and
bus.
I don't know you, Adam.
Yeah,
Black
he started to
men,
think about it.
typically that's
Yeah.
born in the hood.
Yeah.
At some point, you had some interaction with the police. At some point, you might have been taken down to the station. There ain't nothing like seeing them bars close behind you. If this nigga don't come out somebody different,
Yeah.
fuck him.
No,
Man.
Because
I feel
he's
he
in,
will.
like, I
Yeah.
spent a couple hours. This nigga's been chilling in there for months.
Yeah, yeah.
If you ain't woke
Hair's
the
all
fuck
gray,
up,
he gotta get
it.
yeah,
I didn't even know he had
you
gray
walk
hair,
in the
like,
yard, you
them
can't.
waves is all
And
busted.
we're talking about, I wanted to go home to my bed at my parents' house. Nigga, you left a mansion, a jet, a helicopter, and millions
Roll
to
it
do
up.
some dumb shit to go to jail. If that don't teach you, you deserve what the fuck you get after this.
He's still gonna get out with bread, though.
Yeah.
That's
He's
what I'm
still
saying.
gonna
And
get out
even
with
that,
bread.
like, I hear his music being played in movies and on television and placements, and I'm like, there's a lot of people still riding with him that's like,
He had the assets though too, because with Revolt he was able to sell out of that
Yeah.
and start to get ready to, and he
Mhm.
put together his war chest because he knew he was gonna go to war and
Yeah.
he's gonna get out. He's gonna be fine. Find some type of rehabilitation and put it
Mhm.
back whole and I mean I know completely different situation, but Michael Vick, right? You know,
Yeah.
everybody tried to
Yeah,
and
he was able
reinvented
to bounce
himself
back.
and
Yeah.
said, you know what I did now in hindsight is wrong. I didn't think it was wrong then,
Yeah.
but I know it's wrong, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna be a different. I'm gonna be a better person, and that's what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it means to be.
So is R.
you know?
Kelly black excellence to you?
He's still
You
in the
just told us you got Step in the Name of Love.
he's still
on the
he's still in the
playlist.
rotation at the cookout. He might still get played at the cookout. Is he excellence after seeing that documentary? No. Yeah.
And again, not to diminish anything of the proceedings, do you hold any credence to people would you have delivered your kid to the
1,000
studio to
1,000%
hang out
not.
with R. Kelly?
But again, where my hard line is drawn is like he knew these girls were underage, and he did it anyway. That's a hard no for me. You know
Got
what I
it.
mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
But I'm
I
absolutely
agree.
not delivering none of my children to any grown man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with R. Kelly being in jail, but I think there should have been more people there with him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His
I think
camp.
there,
His
there
camp
should have
was
been more
complicit, like-
people that went in there with him. Is
Yeah.
the only problem that I see with it is he shouldn't have been the only one to take the fall. For
Yeah,
that.
for
there
sure.
was some other motherfuckers that should have been like, "Come on, all of y'all going."
Is Bill Cosby still black excellence?
You see a trend here where we going?
Yeah.
Like R.
You didn't answer
Kelly,
the question though, huh?
the king of R&B.
Yeah.
Now we talking about one of the greatest.
Yeah.
black
This is everybody
sitcoms
that's
and
at the
black-
top of their game. Yeah.
I just wonder why this keeps
Yeah.
happening.
Yes
now,
or C or no?
drugging girls unacceptable.
Yep.
Does it take away from who he is? I wouldn't actually put Bill Cosby there even without this. Is
Okay.
he a great TV personality, comedian? Yes, but I don't really count Bill as black excellence because I just don't think that he identified totally. And I think that he was one of those celebrities who thought he was better than. I've heard stories
Yeah.
of too much shit that he didn't even really fuck with that type of shit.
Gotcha.
So if you look down on us, we can't put you on the black excellence.
Oh, you're right. He
pedestal.
was. He said some things that was like hypercritical of our community for sure.
Rap
Bill,
and everything
Bill
else.
said
So
some things that were kind of out of pocket.
just from
So you're
that
not-
before this, he
But you're
wasn't
not
black
black
excellence to me.
excellence because he's critical and wants the community to do better? I
Well,
mean,
you can't want the community to do better and you drugging motherfuckers.
I mean, well,
like,
a lot of
so
them
saying
were,
nigga is
were-
bad, but putting quaaludes and drinks ain't.
I mean,
Like, you a hell of a
I didn't
motherfucker to
see
judge
any-
somebody.
I
Yeah.
didn't see any black women drugged. I seen some. Yeah.
Again, and that,
I don't
we
know.
can,
I
that's
can't-
a
I
whole
can't remember,
nother
to be honest. I
lane
can't
to be
remember.
going
Yeah, me
down
neither.
there with him.
I mean, he didn't have to do that. It was more, he's a weirdo. I mean, he's just,
Yeah, I think I
everybody
just
talk
put
about
him on the
weirdos.
weirdo
Yeah.
list.
Yeah,
But he went to jail, paid his dues. I just think as a community,
he's still getting sued. Actually,
we're very critical of our own that seem to achieve things that aren't achievable. It's like the higher you go up the ladder, it's that crabs in a bucket. They look for you to fall. Like,
that's by
shit.
It's by design,
Let's-
though.
And that's the fucked up part
It's
that
by
I think
design.
about it. We give passes and follow and champion other races who do shit and tear down our own that make it to a certain level. I just see a problem with that.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
agree.
not
I
saying that
agree.
it doesn't take away from they're not animals. I just say that one day this shit will all be over and we all gonna stand behind somebody that was perfect. And from what I
Nobody's
was taught,
perfect.
putting the shit in the drinks versus some other shit don't make you no better.
Yeah.
We also tear down the Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly for they shit, but worship gang members that or drug dealers that sell our kids drugs and people that shoot each other on the street. We glorify gang culture, but you do some other shit and you're bad. So I just think some of our concepts are kind of fucked up
Yeah.
of how we look at certain shit. There's a lot of shit
Yeah.
that we shouldn't take, that we take as a people,
Yeah,
but certain
yeah.
shit, oh my God, a celebrity, Mike was sleeping with kids. Nigga, the whoever on the corner that was making young gang banging in itself and what it was done to
we
our
can't,
communities.
we can't put the two things together, Corey.
I will say
gotta
this.
separate them, bro.
I will
It's
say
the same
yeah,
thing.
it ain't the
That
same.
is a
It's
what
different.
is the word I'm looking
It's
for?
different.
That was
Gangs initially were community organizations for
they
protection.
were, but
so,
then it also
yeah,
became
so we can't
some
put that
old
with anybody
motherfuckers
that's
that was
accused
trying to
of
make
being
us
with kids.
Well,
bro.
yes. I will say this.
killing somebody over a color. And the people that we represent in our culture, some of
Yeah.
the biggest LA, we just had a conversation last week and people talked about who was this and whatever. And the main one they brought up is a known gang member who probably did a lot of dirt and shit but we worship him.
Yeah.
But somebody sleeping with kids, that's bad. This is
No, it's
somebody
not
who
that.
probably
It's a
committed
different level.
drive-bys and killed
It's
people.
a different level of
There's
different-
a hierarchy.
It's a different level of
Yeah.
bad. And the reality, we talking about the drugs. The U.S. government was implicated in drugs even being on the street. So it's bigger
Before
than
the
that.
drug. We ain't talking about
No,
the drugs. Let's just
but I'm
talk
just
about
saying,
the
so-
gang
so-
of Dion. Go kill dude over there because he has on
but,
red. And how many generations and years and
Yeah,
decades
but
that's plagued our
that's the
community.
simple part of it. And there's a lot of some of that happened, but most of the times, just for the color, it didn't. It was more because of just some bullshit. So,
But you can't really compare the two because you're talking about two people that are choosing to be a part of a lifestyle. If I'm in a gang and you're in a gang, we're choosing to be a part of this. We know the consequences that come with that. If I'm a grown man taking advantage of a child who's vulnerable, that's a totally different. You're
But when
comparing
you
apples
hit
and
the
oranges.
block and aiming at Dion and missing,
Yeah.
hit the 3-year-old, the 5-year-old, and whatever.
Just as bad for sure.
But we
Just
don't look at it that way in our community.
we do.
I think we
We
do, though.
do. I think we do.
Some of
for
our
sure.
biggest
we do.
rappers here
I think
are
we do.
known gang members.
Yeah.
And we champion this shit after what everybody
But
here
what
can
do you-
talk about a family member, a friend that's no longer alive behind some gang shit.
Yeah.
But we celebrate that culture.
But
we
we're not.
don't do it-
It's a culture. We're not always celebrating it all for what it
We
is.
give it a pass.
But we don't give it a pass. We do hold it accountable. You know, I
Do
mean,
we really
it's
give it a? Do
I
we?
I think so.
Who do
I
we
think so.
hold it accountable
Oh,
for?
I think we really do. And you're talking to somebody whose dad was murdered at 35 in the streets. So I already know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is. And when other gang members, when people was pulling up talking about how old are you? I'm 13. You can roll with the hood. I'm good. I'm a honor roll student. You know, it was an option, right? It was an
Yeah.
option. I didn't have to join the hood. As a matter of fact, I'm living
Mm-hmm.
in West Side Piru getting recruited by some Compton Crips. I'm like, I gotta actually commute to your hood. It just was illogical to
I
me.
just
Yeah.
find a problem
So
that this has gone on in our community for so long,
correct, and it's
and
time to
we're
change.
okay with that.
We're not okay with
But
it.
we
though.
draw a hard line on some shit that Puffy had some parties and did some strange shit. Mofo, your uncle was killing niggas in the hood, and
Yeah.
everybody was okay
But
with
I
it.
don't think we do. I
Like-
don't think we protect. We've always been like it's always been rumors about what Puff does. I don't think we hold him up to the same level. I personally don't think. Now it could be framed in the media a certain way, but I don't see it that way particularly. And a lot of people that are around me, I don't think so. Now, when you see the stuff like with Cassie getting drugged down the hallway,
Yeah.
that evokes a feeling because it's your daughter, my daughter, your daughter at some
Right.
point, right? That's the part, and it's like, bro, like, what was you doing? Man, I was messed up. I was high. I was drunk. I felt some sort of way because I've had some anger issues in the past and have just that moment lost my complete mind, blacked out, and you know, what I mean, granted, it wasn't, something
Mhm.
like this, nor have I ever had that status. So it's those are the type of things. So I feel like it's the way it's framed,
Mhm.
but to say that we don't hold them both equally as bad, especially when little kids can be,
Are
unfortunately,
victims.
are victims
Mhm.
of a senseless ass, violence from a gun that we don't make. Nowhere can you buy in the hood, but we still have them.
But you
So
still
some
had a
things have to
choice when you
change.
got in the car and loaded the
Correct.
gun and said, "I'm going to shoot." You said, "Hey, you ain't no sniper, motherfucker. So
No,
whoever
no,
gets hit,
but
it
you're
don't
not
stop
because
through
a lot of
walls."
times it's young people and their brains aren't even developed, bro.
I
You know what I
think
mean?
we
And they're
just
not
give a little
sober.
bit to,
Drugs.
like you said about you, honor roll student, had choices,
Yes,
had parents.
because I seen it and I could make
But
a
we can't,
decision.
I think way too long in our community, we want to blame somebody else. Whoever gave us the guns. If I walked out of here right now and there was a pound of coke as big as this table and 3 AK-47s, I'm going to walk the other fucking way. I'm not going to say, you know what? This sounds good for me to sell to my own people and kill my own people with. We
It's
still
a-
made that choice.
It's
Nobody made you do
because
the act,
do
even though we
do the
gave you
red
the drugs.
due to redlining, due to no economic opportunities. You saw that, and again, implicated by the government and the CIA. It's
Mhm.
on paper. Hey,
Mhm.
I can do this, and I can get out of here. The mindset is I can do business and get out of here and have better economically. I don't have to live here no more. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. And a lot of people did do
I
that
know
as
your
well.
story and you shared it not here, but on other shows that we've taped,
Mm.
that people will see one day. Um, You just touched on it. At 35, your dad was killed due to gang violence. How old were you at the time?
I was a teenager. I was 16.
16 years old.
That was the
You
third
grew up
occasion he had. That
in-
was the third occasion he had been shot. So
You grew up
Wow.
in the hood, surrounded by gangs.
Bloods, Crips, everybody.
Yeah.
Essays.
Honor roll student,
Yep.
left the hood to
Being
go to
held
the
accountable
military.
and being held accountable.
Father of multiple children in college doing well. So you overcame and had choices.
Mhm.
The same way that these other people do.
Correct. But it's also I
You
had
knew
that foundation.
killing somebody was wrong because
I
your
had
parents
that
taught you.
and
Some-
gang members did as well.
But somebody got to you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You can never make the assumption that someone has reached some of these boys that are out here doing this, or girls, because we don't know their stories. Everybody's circumstances are different. So I spent some time working in a group home for
Mhm.
foster children, and some of these stories I heard were the most deplorable you'll ever hear. And these kids absolutely never had an opportunity, never had a chance at making it in life because there wasn't one adult throughout their whole entire childhood that came to them and said, course corrected them and said, hey, you're going down the wrong path or the stuff you're doing is wrong. So if you don't ever have that, you can 1000% go down the wrong path. Like it's you were fortunate that there was somebody at some point that got to you.
Killers.
Right.
Killers.
I was fortunate that I had mom and dad at home that was like, got to me and kept me in a structured system where it's like, we don't do that over there. But I don't assume that everybody had those same opportunities. So I don't know why they're making the choices that they're doing.
Everyone.
Yeah.
But I'll give you an example. When me and D have had this conversation from where he grew up, we won't put a name on it, but there's a specific gang that is in this area.
Yeah.
These are typically 2-parent homes, nice community that this gang's area is in. So they had fucking choices.
Yeah.
They chose to do this shit. You didn't come from the projects. You weren't deprived. These are double family homes, pools in the back. This whole area was good. Yeah, parents was well off. That was good.
Yeah, had Jabot jeans on.
You chose to go do this shit. Is what I'm talking about. Like, this ain't, oh my God, we didn't know where our next meal was coming from.
Specific group, though.
Yeah, this is Ladera Heights. I'm talking about communities where you had a choice.
Yeah.
You saw
prime
Black
example,
excellence.
we could talk about Suge Knight.
Yeah.
Both parents well off. You weren't, but when you had a chance, not only did you want to join up in it, you wanted to sell it to the world and tell them that it's okay.
Well, no, that was after. So he went to college first, UNLV, and then came back.
That's what I'm saying. There's like, you had a choice of doing whatever.
Yeah.
You chose the dumb shit instead of the right shit. And I just think far too many times in our community, like I said, we overlook certain shit
and celebrate the others,
and then celebrate others.
I would say this wholeheartedly and with 1,000% conviction, because as I get older and you start to learn more about life, Black people to me are the most talented, exceptional, sensational. You pick the adjective, we are that. We have something that you can't replicate.
No. They try to.
Our pool of talent is endless. And because of that, when we do get the celebrities that end up in some controversy or have done some things that are questionable, I think we should move on from them, because there's somebody else that we could pull from, that we could lift up and celebrate, that hasn't had that tarnish reputation or have done something in their past. We shouldn't act like we need to just hold on to the ones that have always been there. We can move on from them. There's talented people coming up. There's the Kendricks, the SZAs, the whoever else that you want to name. Yeah. And I'm okay with moving on. That's my point. Like, maybe they aren't Black excellence anymore, but that don't mean we can't and go celebrate somebody else. These aren't our only options. And that's how I feel.
With that and kind of what you're saying, like, I take it to basketball where we celebrate the Ja Morants, but the Steph Currys are the nerdy guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
But Steph Curry celebrated, though.
But that's always been, even in hip-hop and rap, we celebrate the gang member and not the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Well,
like, the Snoop Dogg murder was the case, but Summertime, oh, he's cheesy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, we've had another deep dive. We can go on for hours with these.
We can.
And there will be more to come. We figuring this shit out. And we're going to put a lot of it out there for you guys to see. So if you rock with us, keep on tuning in. We're going to be everywhere. Subscribe, like, follow, whatever you're going to do.
And Michael review coming.
Yeah,
we got to go see the movie. We got to go see the movie.
See it,
and give
then we're going to come
opinion.
down and deep dive. That's why we didn't go too much. I'm on borrow D's shirt, my 14-year-old But thank you for rocking with us. We had District 22, my man Dion, my man Adam.
Man, appreciate
you.
Fix that busy. Once again,
people,
thank you for tuning in.
Yes, sir.
Be safe. God bless.
Yeah, y'all take care.
Good night. Rock with us on the next one by invitation only.
Yeah, peace
Hope
out.
you have fun.